Hey everybody, WHYBOY of ToonGrin here, just to let you know that you should stay till the end so you can know how to enter into the Scooby-Doo Corner giveaway. Now, on with the show.
ToonGrin.com.
Howdy partner, time for me to ruin your life. It's the Wild West here as we're back with Scooby-Doo Corner here on Cartoon Corner. Today, we are continuing my journey to review every single Scooby-Doo movie in the aptly named Scooby-Doo Corner. But before I really start it proper, I just want to apologize for my top 10 worst Scooby-Doo movies list.
Yeah, you should apologize, WHYBOY. I'm sorry, gang. You are just a penis whistle like Bow Brothers and Number 10. Have you no shame? Oh.
Whoa, Vanilla, come on now. You don't have to get that out of whack about this. It's just my opinion of the movie where it's interestingly bad. So I placed it on the list for that notoriety sense. You don't have to be like this about it.
You're just throwing up.
Yes, along with naming my favorite movies from Dubert, I had the goal to list 10 of his flicks that left me wanting to test DVD cases as makeshift frisbees. It's definitely one of the most polarizing lists I've done, and I'm truly sorry that I didn't put it out faster. Seriously, in the time it took for me to make the list, another pile of poo, Haunted Hollywood, came out. If you're waiting for a review of this, then let me just tell you, it's boring! With a series as vast and multifaceted in plot framing devices as Scooby-Doo, it is inevitable where you're going to get a handful of stinkers, and it won't be a mystery which ones those are. But today, I want to retroactively add one more to the top 10 worst Scooby-Doo movies list. At 2.5, we have the Western that's not a Western. It is Scooby-Doo Shaggy's Showdown. Yep, we now got our cowboys mixing with our Scooby-Doo this time, and in fairness, it doesn't sound like a bad mix. If written like Pirates Ahoy or Samurai Sword, focusing more on the adventure that one can have with the setting, rather than the mystery, Shaggy Showdown could be what the modern day cowboys call an okay time. But this is Cartoon Corner after all, where I only deal with crap or underappreciated good movies.
I'm underappreciated?
Ugh! No! Ugh! Gross, Monster of Mexico! No!
Oh.
It deserved that. But does Shaggy Showdown deserve the exact same treatment? Let's find out. The biggest plus first impressions wise is the box art definitely evokes a Wild West adventure tone. A horse and buggy, a spooky skull-faced cowboy ghost, Shaggy and Scooby recklessly piloting the buggy and the rest of the gang fearing for their lives. It's the complete Wild West package. Though it leads me to ask, why does the DVD say original movie on the cover? What does that even mean? I'm pretty sure you're not the first one to make a Wild West story. It's not even just Shaggy's Showdown. Ever since Pirates Ahoy, every single animated direct-to-DVD anime movie has had original movies slapped on the box. Why though? A lot of these movies have very clear connections to famous movies and themes. Calling it an original movie seems kind of phony. Or do they mean original as in original for the franchise, since they aren't really trying to tie any cartoon series of Scooby-Doo? At least before we either had a full-length Scooby-Doo movie mystery or just movie. Just stick with the title of the movie. It's strange to just tack on original movie when it means nothing, especially to your younger audience. Speaking of not original, we start our showdown with some CGI. Good. Very out of place. But this blunt inclusion is interrupted by the appearance of Dapper Jack and his Flamin' Jays. Let me just confirm something, and... Yep, it's slang for marijuana. Does Scooby-Doo and pot just somehow go hand in hand?
Oh man, talk about toasted!
Anyway, Dapper Jack is firing his Jays all over the place, spooking away this one lone black guy at a dude ranch. And then he travels far away to spook away some tourists. Yes, I do find it odd that, framing-wise, the monster spooked away this one black guy, and then completely changed locations to spook different people. In other similar introductions, the monster would scare the first victim into the crowd of victims to incite more panic, creating a follow-through between the two scenes. But here we just see Scooby-Doo being like those classic uncreative horror movies, going after the minority that's alone. Awkward. But ignoring unintentional racial targeting, we have the gang heading down to Sargum City, where the plot device of the day is Shaggy has been contacted by his third cousin twice removed, who got in contact with him through a genealogy website. Okay, put in the Ancestry.com plug right here. Good. And that cousin has invited Shaggy and the gang to her dude ranch, the Crazy Q Ranch. It's nowhere gonna be as cool as that. I'm gonna need some good knee-slapping jokes to remedy this.
Oh no!
What?
This is terrible! Look at this! They used El Kabong font! The whole website is El Kabong! What is it, a lost kitten flyer? Using El Kabong is like putting salt in someone's eyes! In everyone's eyes!
Fun fact, this font thing is actually a major part of the movie. I dare say, it's the crux of the whole story in the end. Good! Oh! But back to the fun, though, as we start that old he looks like the bad guy, flee plot with Shaggy at the butt end of it, as he is mistakenly confused for Dapper Jack, who has been terrorizing the town and ranch, scaring away business and forcing Shaggy's cousin to sell the Crazy Q Ranch. Yeah, that's a good plan sell. But it isn't just coincidence they look alike, as when they meet with Shaggy's cousin, inconsequential to the story, she and the old guy who lives there, I think, Rafe, tell the gang that Shaggy's ancestor, Dapper Jack Rogers, was a notorious outlaw, committing all sorts of nasty crimes in the past, from cattle rustling, bank robbing, to stupid crap like shooting someone who wore white boots past Labor Day. Thank you, Shaggy Showdown. Now I feel completely disconnected from the stakes you're raising in the story.
OMG! Scooby-Doo was supposed to be goofy. Are you just a buzzkill or something?
Obviously, but there is an annoyance that comes from making the monster goofy like Scooby-Doo. Just for me, it makes the story come off weak sauce.
Do you just hate fun, WHYBOY?
Look, listen to me. This is the crux of many of the weaker Scooby-Doo movies' greatest failings. The lack of comedy with juxtaposition. Scooby-Doo is famously a comedy mystery series. It's pretty evident to say the least. The backbone to its writing always centered on our wacky main characters facing off with the ghoulish monster of the week. That's how it worked for most, if not all, of the successful Scooby-Doo movies and shows. A lot of Scooby-Doo writers' greatest fumblings, though, is writing the scenarios Scooby is taking part in too goofy from the offset, and trying to then pair that with more serious stakes. Scooby and the gang as characters are meant to be the wrench that throws the setting and situation into chaos as they are doing the mystery solving, tongue-in-cheek joking, and etc. This works best when the situation at the offset is framed to be spooky and have high stakes. Zombie Island, Witches, Ghosts, hell, even Cyber Chase, Where's My Mummy, and the live-action Scooby-Doo movie, which admittedly has stupid monsters in them, all framed scenarios as more serious, spooky situations, which later benefited the comedy by allowing Scooby-Doo more flexibility on how he and the gang could use it for their comedic benefit. But the impact of this humor is lessened when the monster of the piece is played for laughs too. It ceases to be Scooby flipping the spooky situation on its head, and more Scooby just joins in on this goofy situation awkwardly. Dapper Jack and his mustachio Scooby already frame themselves as humorous, so how can we have that flip to strengthen the comedy? Trick question, you can't, but if you want more evidence of this movie's failure at juxtaposition, then let me just show you the movie's defining theme in one line.
Oh man, I can't believe my most famous ancestor was an outlaw. What if it's in my blood? What if I go bad? That time in first grade when I stole the cookie! This totally explains it! I'm bad to the bone!
Ah, a question of ancestry and family, and if that dictates who one becomes as an individual over one's own moral compass, and what truly begins to define oneself as self. A very thought-provoking theme. Let's see how they fudge it up in the mystery portion. But first, let's meet our new batch of suspects! First up, we have the Gundersons, Midge and Andy, the eccentric husband and wife.
Andy Gunderson, Gunderson Tanning Salon and Lawn Mower Repair. Here's my card.
Achoo! Oh, bless you. You got allergies, hon. I always carry some allergy pills. And antacid, and aspirin. Is this a cat toy? We don't have a cat!
Desdemona, the goth, who is about as engaging as that archetype implies.
It's Desdemona now? How many times do I have to tell you? Ugh.
Hey, Vanilla! I found footage of you in your preteens!
Oh, those were the days where Hot Topic was lettuce fudge and I was the queen douche of them all. Wait, no, I mean, go die, you snail ass, you sodomite tumbleweeder.
And Buddy Gunderson, aka Buddy G, as apparently Justin Bieber references are still timely in 2017.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Buddy G. At the Chris Q with my family.
Oh my gosh, it's Buddy G!
That kid with all the videos?
I don't know what's more confusing, Velma using such a vague line to describe a character, or the fact that Daphne squealed for Buddy G like that. Is the movie basically admitting that Daphne is a lot older than we'd like to believe she is?
I just have to get your autograph. Here, just sign this.
Usually they're a little younger.
Oh, don't worry. Daphne just wants a signature, as well as some of Buddy's hair to eat it and remain youthful. Up next is Dave and David, television producers that are as interchangeable as their names would imply, and they even make jokes about it.
No, I'm David. He's Dave.
And more interchangeability is with Carol and Sharon, two wacky sisters who love to play pranks on each other.
Water, Sharon?
It's vinegar! Oh, you got me. You got me good that time, Carol. You totally got me.
Oh, yeah, I got you. I got you back. I totally got you.
Later that same evening, the bodies of Carolyn and Sharon were found with multiple stab wounds covering their bodies and faces. Witnesses claim the sisters' final words were, "Oopsie doodles." And lastly, we got the cowboys who work on the ranch. Crazy Zeke, who's blind as Mr. Magoo and about as funny as the other Mr. Magoo.
This is a dog? Ah! Why should I listen to a talking tree anyway?
What?
And Larry and Cal, who... wait. I think, with my deductive reasoning, I figured out who the culprit is. Let me just confirm this. I'm the greatest detective ever. Well, with the mystery already solved, only thing left to do is talk about the main character. So Buddy G has a fear of horses, and his family brought him to the Crazy Q Ranch to face his fears, as well as take part in the concert being held in Sargum City. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Trumpet. I didn't mean to confuse you. It's just the fact that Buddy G has more of a narrative arc to go on in this movie than the rest of the game. Let's see. Fred's going through a jealousy phase where he's measuring Cowboy Willies with Kyle, who even the other characters admit is an idiot, so really setting those standards high, Fred. Velma is allergic to horses and crappy fonts, so allergic in fact that she wants to assault people over the fonts. Daphne's being her fashion diva self while also taking part in fangirling over Buddy G. I think these weirded out expressions of these Buddy G fans encapsulate that arc. Finally, with Shaggy of the titular Shaggy Showdown, we get a bit more of an arc for him as we start entering the thematic question in the most least thought out way possible. Mainly we go through Shaggy discovering that being related to a cowboy has naturally gifted him at being a cowboy, riding horses, cow tying and all that, leading that question towards the yes. But that yes is gonna have some seriously annoying implications soon enough. Oh, and Scooby's just happy to have some work. Getting back into the mystery, Dapperjack attacks the ranch and causes all sorts of mayhem from the game, and then they go to sleep learning no new clues. Getting back to the mystery, Daphne Velma learned that a realtor firm called Black Rattler has been buying up all the abandoned shops in town, since Jack has forced them to close. And when they woo their way into the town museum, they find that someone has stolen the diary of the old sheriff who arrested Dapperjack, Rufus Carmichael, in an effort to cover up Jack's past for some unknown reason. Ah, the mystery. It steadily grows. But what about Buddy G's fear of horses?
Ta-da!
Oh, wow, all right.
Yes, so important to the story. Keep focusing on this.
He's looking at me like I'm a bug. He's gonna stump me.
Oh dear, guess you'll never ride a horse. Like no one will ever ride this while styling the Cimarron, or Velma will never wear a cowgirl outfit, or Shake and Scooby will never leave the Mystery Machine. And you do realize there's more than just a this'll never happen set up for a joke payoff, right? Oh, God. One more 420 roll around, I could really use some weed to just mellow out from the headache this movie is giving me.
Well, we...
Wow, they really dig celebrating 420 to the max in Scooby-Land. No, wait, I'm wrong. It's Dapperjack. And he's burning down the ranch and causing one of the horses to run wild with Shaggy and Scooby on him. But with Scooby's help, they are able to calm the wild stallion.
It's working, Scoob! It's working!
That would be an added bit of big top Scooby-Doo to this melting pot of a movie. As now this sets Shaggy on the path to be riding an even scarier horse for the rodeo coming up, so that he can win the 10 grand to stay Inconsequential's rants. With Scooby showing the real horse whispering talent, helping of course by coaxing the horse beforehand. But before that and after the game deals with multiple scares and multiple near-death experiences, they come together to discuss who could possibly be Dapperjack, and what motive they could have.
Well, what have we got? Anything?
Not much in the way of suspects.
Yeah, Tawny and Wraith both stand to lose their ranch, so they seem pretty unlikely.
Maybe it's one of those jokey sisters pulling a prank.
This seems a little elaborate for them.
What about that Gunderson girl? She seems pretty unhappy to be here. Maybe she's trying to scare her parents so they can go back home.
You know, Shaggy Showdown's mystery has some good ideas to it, I'll admit that. Has some good twists and turns, and I mean that wholeheartedly. The mystery of Dapperjack can be cool. The problem is, the characters are basically non-existent. The same non-existent motives are there for everyone, and apart from the beginning and the minute scenes that the game interact with each of the suspects, they set up comedic relief. But personalities, motives, anything to make the viewer try to piece together this like a mystery as to who could be the culprit? I guess they forgot that. Definitely there should be comedy in a Scooby-Doo movie. I'm not arguing that. I'm not even saying that the side characters being comedic relief is necessarily a bad thing. Like, one of my favorite fun Scooby-Doo movies to watch is Moon Monster Madness. In Moon Monster Madness, they had the suspects just like that, each with a trait that defined them. The difference is, the movie allowed the game time to interact and probe each character to ascertain a possible motive and define personality with each one. While in Shaggy Showdown, I keep forgetting who these side characters are supposed to be to the story. Heck, I keep forgetting who this guy is, even though I know he's the bad guy! But I guess I'm being harsh. Let me act like I give a rat's ass, and get to the rodeo where Shaggy is prepping to ride his Bronco.
Welcome the rodeo's special guest, Buddy G!
What the?
I travel across the Great Plains and the Rocky Mountain tops.
No, not crappy singing country Justin Bieber! Damn you, movie! I'm trying to get to the interesting parts of this movie just for your sake! Okay, interesting in context with this movie, and forget it. 1, 2, Now we can get back to the actual movie, where Buddy G rides Scooby-Doo around the rodeo. Crap! No! Stupid piece of... Whew! Well, do the Buddy riding Scooby, and I don't care if you want to take that in the worst possible way! Scooby isn't able to get to Shaggy's horse to tell him to ease up, but thankfully due to Shaggy's dormant cowboy DNA, he's able to ride the Bronco and not get hurt. He even gets a whimsical smile from his horse. Now, Norville, let us fly!
He's a magical pony flying through the sky on a magical...
Shoot it down.
But Magical Adventures will have to wait because Dapper Jack is lighting up his J's and causing havoc. But the gang is there to catch him, and then immediately lose him in a bull stampede. Things happen like where the Gundersons and Inconsequential are going to be trampled over because they're driving in front of the stampede. Turn your vehicle, go either way, you idiots!
Hey, you two! We somehow have to divert the attention of the stampede! Wow! Velma's sneezes are spooking the cattle!
Those pathetic sneezes diverted the bulls? Shouldn't this be one of the moments where you go over the top and be overly cartoony to show how loud it is? Oh. Guess I stopped World War III. With the stampede taken care of, now they can focus on the culprit, who they weed out with a very ingenious use of UV powder. By marking the culprit with the UV powder placed on the net, all they needed was for him to go under a black light, then blam! Whoever this guy is nailed as the culprit. Although I wouldn't think a net that went on his costume would show up on his regular clothing, but I'll take what I can get. So good job to the gang, but they already know that one more person's behind the Dapper Jack ghost. After finding the old sheriff's diary, everything comes together in a big middle finger to everything I thought was interesting in this movie. 1. Dapper Jack turns out to be a complete good guy, making that question the movie posed a complete moot point at best, and at worst it oversimplifies and says, yep, the person you are is directly linked to how good of a person your family is. 2. It gives a really thought out background to the culprit Rafe's motives. But we don't know who Rafe is! His introduction is just...
A ghost?
Not a ghost!
I can fix that.
No!
And the story never explains what Rafe's deal is to the ranch. A co-owner, a neighboring farmer. They wrote him like we're supposed to know who he is before the movie starts. And 3. After showing an honestly darker origin story to Dapper Jack than I was expecting from this movie, Velma comes in with her proof as to why Rafe is the culprit.
Simple. You said you built the Dude Ranch's website yourself, and you used El Kabong font. No professional would use that font. No one with any taste or self-respect would—
Easy there, Velma.
Shaggy Showdown? What else is there to say? You end afterwards with the traditional carriage chase. You have the old meddling kids got caught again, whatever, and then the monster appears at the ending. But what else can I really say to just more than what they just showed here? The font joke,
no one with any taste or self-respect,
was the final clue that's supposed to wrap everything up. The big joke is that it is a joke. Because this has a lot of solid ideas to it. It has some dark elements. It has some really well thought out mystery elements. It has everything that it could to be a really, really good Scooby-Doo movie. And it just falls apart. In the most insulting way possible. This is why I placed this on 2.5 of the worst Scooby-Doo movies. It's not the fact that it's just awful in every way that I consider Monsters Unleashed to be. No. It has all these good ideas, and completely squanders them to just play it safe, to play it annoying, to play it like every other weak-ass Scooby-Doo movie ever does. It's pathetic. And it just pisses me off that way. Let's go to the pros and cons a bit more. Recycling jokes, underdeveloped suspects, marginalizing the game's characters to lazy quirks, or flat out making them act out of place and disconnecting any character emotion that we could possibly attach to. Like, jokes aside, Tanya and Shaggy's family relationship could have been a major force to prop this movie up. 3 members of the Roger family, Jack, Tanya, and Shaggy, all looked down at for having the outlaw label on them, and a story of comedy and redemption for the 3 to grow closer in a new setting. It could have been great. Scooby-Doo movies have done this thematic family writing in the past, with Daphne's in Loch Ness and Velma's in Abracadabra-Doo. So what excuse is there to have the characters say,
Just an opportunity to get to know a relative.
then having the family aspect disconnected to instead stretch out a 22-minute mystery over an hour and a half? The reason I have this movie so low in my mind isn't due to it just being awful from beginning to end, like Monster in Mexico or Monsters Unleashed. But despite its great animation, few funny jokes, which are admittedly ruined by 10 horribly implemented ones, and interesting story ideas, it gave us just the bare bones lazy slog of a movie, which becomes annoying when you realize how much more it could have been. Well, partners, that was a rough one to say the least. Maybe next time I can do a simpler movie for Cartoon Corner. Easter's around the corner, so there must be something out there, right? But I guess to sign off, I'll give you an old Wild Western version of a Cartoon Corner goodbye. Let's do this.
Cowboy.
Hey everybody, WHYBOY here at the end credits to let you know on how you can win a Scooby-Doo themed giveaway from ToonGrin.com. What we got here is the entire Scooby-Doo Where Are You Complete Series DVD collection, which comes in this awesome little Mystery Machine saved box, and right inside is a whole DVD case, and with a bunch of little added bonuses on the inside with commentaries, little trivia bits, and all sorts of stuff. I just got one for myself, and I just thought, why not for all you awesome Scooby-Doo fans out there, why not have a little giveaway of this other extra one that I have? So how can you win this giveaway? Well, 1. Be sure that you subscribe to the channel and like, share, and comment on this video with your thoughts on the movie. 2. Be sure to subscribe to ToonGrin.com here on YouTube, VidMe, or anywhere else that you can find our videos. And 3. Register yourself to be a member on our website ToonGrin.com. If you do all 3 of these tasks and your name is picked, then you have yourself a chance to win this DVD box set with a special thank you note from everyone here at Cartoon Corner. With that all said and done, I am off. Easter may be over, but I'm still going to celebrate Easter in some fashion. Links to support ToonGrin.com via Patreon and TeePublic are in the description below. And remember everybody, be sure to tune in to ToonGrin. Peace.